because the rest of you are male, right? She's comparing her own husband with you guys. So I remember I had to call this my relative and say, look, you need to probably interview our own wives, right? Of how patient they were with us when things were not this rosy, right? To be comparing us with your own husband is just unfair. Because our own wives too have gone through what you are going through now, right? Where things, and they didn't go back to their own family member to be reporting their husband like you are reporting your own husband to us, right? They didn't do it. And I feel that's where the problem is. We oftentimes are not consistent. You do this job, you give up on this job. Then you do this other one, you give up. Then you move on to this other one, you give up. You say they are the bad, they are the devil, they are the, they don't care about their stuff. But the question, the reality is, why should they care about somebody they don't know? Issue of trust, issue of investment, you earn it. Are we together now? You earn it because you have been there consistently over time. I remember one of the staff had some family challenge, and my wife called me and said, I'm willing to even borrow him $1 million to sort out this issue. My wife, she was even the one getting, but why would she do that? The person has been consistent. She said, I don't even my own subsidiary will borrow you guys to take care of this guy. Right? You see what we're talking about? Now, who's for you? I guess you just joined Gtext. It's obvious. It is always silent or switched off. So consistency is a very important thing. And I think that's helped this company this far. We have just decided to be consistent. This I don't like movement. I'm being distracted. I am. Okay. Consistency has been a major thing that has helped us as a company. We have just decided to stay there. We're not giving up. We're not letting go. We've made losses. I was still telling the auditor, when they were looking for a trace of my salary, I said, I've not been collecting salary. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Salary. We're putting everything back into the business. Everything back. That's why I had to develop my ability to write books, my ability to speak, my ability to do webinars, right? So that I can make my money from that and not be a burden to the company. And I know we're building a transgenerational business because that's the goal. And it's the reason why I'm hard on myself and as well as on the company, because we are not building a business for our generation. It is a transgenerational business. John D. Rockefeller doesn't have two heads from Standard Oil, right? Today we still have Chevron, still, ExxonMobil is still there. In fact, the Standard Oil had to be divided into 4, right? And you still have this company, multi-billion-dollar company. And how much impact has those companies been to the world, not just to his family, to the world? And what I realized about transgenerational business is that it does not just impact on the family of the founders, it impacts on several other families. There are people who are direct beneficiaries of John D. Rockefeller's business. And I'm talking of transgenerational, like they are like the 3rd generation of that John D. Rockefeller business. And the impact. I was still on Manhattan, and they were taking me to some of the artwork that John D. Rockefeller put, because he was one of the major developers of Manhattan in New York. Those things are there. The Rockefeller Center is there. Today, funny enough, the family does no longer own those things. You don't understand. It's not even anymore a family business, but because Rockefeller Center is now owned by NBC, they use it now. But the impact is still having on the entire world. And that's the message I'm trying to preach to all of us. That please, and I know people are watching us from all over the world, stop seeing businesses as your enemy. They are not. If you think employers of labor are the problem, you go start your own and use those good hearts that you have in your own business. I mean, I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. So the employer, they don't care about their staff. You start your own company, you care about your own staff. I mean, because in reality, we're just not being fair. Because you analyze it from your own perspective. Are we together now? Yes. Instead of doing what? Analyzing it from a more holistic perspective. I still say this thing again, even to UN and a lot of these NGOs when they talk about income inequality. I said, you cannot be fair talking about income inequality if you don't begin to teach people about understanding the difference between savings and investment, between asset and liability. Right? I have not been using any sensible car since I've started business. Right? And I don't think there's any time in the last how many years that I don't have an account balance that can buy any kind of car. Then you collect salary for someone like me, and your first priority is a nice car. And you expect us to end in the same place. And you're saying come inequality. So until we begin to teach the right messaging, are we together now? Even our children. I mean, we have a colo my wife put together, and for our children, they give them money. We have, some put it in your colo, this saving. My wife has started teaching our 7-year-old son about investment, asset, and liability. When he comes and says, I want to buy chewing gum, my wife is okay, is the chewing gum an asset or a liability? At that tender age. You see what we're talking about? Okay, so we need to begin to rewire the thinking. I was still sharing with them at the company's retreat earlier this year. Yeah, how if you earn 100,000 naira in 5 years, I did a breakdown of how you can begin to generate. It was on a monthly basis 25 million. Yes. Monthly. We broke it down to how you should, if you save a percentage and put it in certain kind of business, right? And you are still an employee. In 5 years, you can be bringing in, without quitting your job, those investments will be bringing guaranteed 25 million every month. That's how wealth is created. Are we together now? Yeah. That's how wealth is created. So I think because I could see a huge movement nowadays. It's like it first started with Nigeria anti-church, and gradually we're going to anti-entrepreneurship. Oh, this bank sacks also number of people. They gave federal government 1 billion. By the way, it was the same ones that was celebrating them that hey, some people are giving government money to solve COVID. Right? When they started giving, why did you shout that our government are thieves? It's later that said they are thieves. Why did they give them the money? But I remember some people were celebrated for giving, some were not celebrated. Some people were saying, why are some people not donated? Remember when this donation started? Now later, the company had to downsize, why that 1 billion, we should have used it. Do you know Access Bank salary is far more than 1 billion? It's because you're an outsider that thing looks 1 billion looks big. Right? That I know the MD himself is over 100 million that he earns. So how about the DMD? So I can tell you that the top 50 persons, now your 1 billion is gone in 1 month. Top less of that would now go to the thousands. Right? So we need to begin to, and that's why we have to keep preaching entrepreneurship. That's why the company is giving grants to entrepreneurs. We want to encourage entrepreneurship because you can't have a country of 40 million employed people, and yet almost 2 million join them every year, and we're not teaching that people should start their business. It's disaster. And yet we are putting more pressure on the small businesses. It's disaster. It's disaster. We have to preach entrepreneurship. We have to encourage people to start their own business. And one of the things we are doing is to keep investing our employees to say, you have to think of asset. You have to think of asset. Why you are here? Think of, asset. Think of asset. Can I own my own property? Can I buy land? Can I? Because before you know it, some of you have come from other companies. If I ask you 10 years that you worked in the bank, what are the assets that you acquired? Of course, they paid you your salary, they didn't owe you, but what were the assets? What were the assets? 5 years that you work in an organization, what were the assets? So no matter how tough it is, we need to begin to think that. We need to begin to think of investment. We need to think of how do I have something on the side? And then I will balance it by saying, having something on the side does not mean a business. This is where we have missed it in this part of it. Side hustle must not always be a business. Am I making sense at all? Side hustle can be referral. Right? Side hustle can be what? Referral. For example, a lot of bankers who are doing well, all they do is referral. They know high net worth people in their bank, their account guys. Oh, they know the guy that sell car. So while they are talking, I'm thinking of buying a car. Okay, don't worry, I know somebody. Right? Refer. When you buy the car, won't you give the person who refers you? But we think that side hustle must necessarily be something that we use our employers' time, our employers' resources to do. Side hustle can be investment. I'm putting something on the side. I buy keke napep, give it to somebody to be using. Before you know, keke napep becomes Uber. Give it to a driver. Before you know, from 1 Uber to 2 to 3, we did that during the retreat, to 3 Uber, to 4 Uber. Before you know, coastal bus comes in. So I'm not cheating my employer, but yet I'm expanding. And once what is coming as a return from those small business on the side is more than my salary, I can then tell my employer, I appreciate your time. I want to go and focus on these other businesses that I've put together. I've met several people who have done it. I know one of the men on on our 50th anniversary of this company, he was sharing this story with me. He said, today I will share with you my secret that many people don't know. Because I went to Osu and then he has an hotel called Lamline. I go with, they used to say the man did you show. And how can someone come and build an hotel of almost 200 million? Where did they get that kind of money? Where? So he then opened up. I was shocked the day he was telling me this story. So I used to work with AIT, Kemi Ogungbe and Co. So we were all relieved of our job. For 3.5 years, I was at home. My wife was sustaining us. I did all the courses in my church, became a pastor. So one day I was watching TV, I saw a TV station, S. So I started calling everybody, what station is that? I said it's Silver Bridging, that they now have a station. Immediately, I made some string, the book appointment with the general manager. Got there, the man looked at me and said, give me 7, I want pastors to come and preach on this station. I need 7 of them now. No, 5 of them. Right now, not to go and come. Right now, in his presence. So he immediately picked up his phone. He used to know TB Joshua from way back. Called him and said, okay, problem, won't be bad. Call somebody who knows Christ Embassy. He called 7. And the 7 of them were willing to pay to have their program on that station. So you would think they'll give him an employment letter. Give him a casual letter that says he's entitled to 12,500 allowance, every month. He said he didn't even care. If that had been at home 3.5 years, they jump opportunity. Before jump and started doing, and then commission started coming because he's entitled to commission. And so commission was what bothered him, not the fact that the salary was 12,500. And he was doing well before 100,000 commission, 150,000. One day, he just got somebody who called him. Hello, that's your son. Hey, see my office. He didn't know who was. So he had to call the general manager. That one I told him, that's Ogao, that's Ben Bruce. And then he fell, they found me to this place again. Because the way the man was talking, it wasn't like, He was obviously tense. So he got there, the man brought out a letter, throw it on the table, he said, finish. Sack letter. So opened it only to see the NBC gave them 3 months to change their content because they have too much foreign content. And that they must have, I think, is this 60% local content. So he said, I heard that you work with the IT, plan something. Yes, sir. Don't worry. 3 months too much. In 1 month, I can do this. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And look, I was awesome. So he went to, the maker of Super Story, Wale Adenuga, went to Alaba, went to and started telling them, we need your content. So Wale Adenuga will do 50-50. If people put adverts, whatever they pay us, we'll give you 50, you take 50. Went to Alaba, told them to give him their latest movie and their old movies. They will play their own movie, then give them advert slot to advertise their latest movies. Okay? And then, cut the long story short, Wale Adenuga will come to STV to collect 20 million check, 50 million check. Bring out 1 million and say, if not for you, will I be in STV? Cheson, take 1 million. That's how all of them started. From the check they were getting, this one will give. Plus, the company is still giving commission. He says on month he will make 40 million. Then when they now promoted him, his salary was now 105,000. From 12,500. Then he doesn't even know whether he pays salary or not. That's his business. And then gradually, that's how he beat his hotel. At some point, the entire was massive. All the things he's built. And I had to go and meet Bambus and say, okay, I have to go. Bambus said, come. If you want 6 months leave, I will give you. He said, in fact, after he left, Silverbird still kept paying salary for, I think, a year. I think he will come back. And then you can't go. Right? So there are people who have made it without cutting corners and have become entrepreneurs too. And the people they work for, any day they see them, we pray for them. Because even though he is no longer at STV, he brought all those people. They are still working with STV. He still gets checked. That's what he told me. Or he still brings jobs, right, for the company. So I hope you are encouraged and that anything small can become big, but focus has to be there, right? Grace has to be there. So the grace of God, we don't joke with it. Are we together now? Hard work has to be there. If you have to sleep in the office, sleep for your customer. It's not too much. It's not too much because those customers will reward you. They will. I said, I don't know about a customer from the UK coming this morning. I said, there's this lady I saw, she sells for companies, but she has a big name in Dublin. I've told her to come and start marketing for Gtext. This person has brought me more than 20 customers. I told her I'll give her commission. And many times I won't ask her, when will you collect a commission? And she will be calling this person, come and market for this company. Right? So how do you then reward those kind of people? You work hard. You work hard. You don't lose focus. Are we together now?
Yes,
you don't lose focus. And that's why the concept of purpose is key. If you don't know where you are going, small thing will get you puffed up. Right? Small thing will get you puffed up. I realized I remember some guys, as soon as they got 500,000 commission, their neck was bigger than their head. And I know IK knows them. The month they got 500,000 was the month they left. I'm not kidding you. The month they got 500,000 commission was the month they left. I mean, one of them, my wife had to ask him, do you have, what do you want to do? I'm starting my business. He said, do you have capital? I said, yes. 500,000. You don't understand. Today, it's painful that some people don't know where they are. Right? You don't know where they are. The problem of some people, no focus, no goal. You never believe you can earn 500,000 in your life before. So the thing just with 500 I can't do business. Who will do business? They will know. They will say our company will trust everybody. Amen. You know what the young man did when he left? True story. Started calling all our customers. The people were, my oga was doing website for you for 500,000. Forget that. We're cheating you. Me, I will do my own 100,000. 100,000, your website is ready. Our guy was cheating. So some of them foolishly, because how did I know? They were the one that eventually came back to tell me. The same customer. Some of them foolishly engaged you. To even finish customer work, they don't finish. Some came back reporting. Okay, so we're not here by mistake. And I want to encourage you, say, I always tell people, I said, before you think of going to start a business, let your investment, not your business, let your investment do what? Be more than your salary. At that point, resign. Because you know consistently that investment will be paying your salary while you go and start a new business. Because business takes money. It takes money. We are running Genido now. You know how much keeps going? We have not made our first profit from Genido. Right? We have not. But millions keep going every month. Millions. So you then come out 500,000 in savings. You want to start business. It doesn't work that way. I hope you've been encouraged. Yes. And lastly, I will say that if you're going to succeed in business, and what has helped us was pure conscience. Pure conscience. You see, people can say anything about you. You just make sure it's not true. Are we together now? Yes, sir. You just make sure it's not what? True. It's not true. Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? A client came, somebody, former client came, and said, Mr. Steve, I want to apologize to you. So I said some terrible things. He said, I called you in those days, and I said some terrible things to you. He said, if I had known your company would be this big, I would not have said so. If I had known you would have gone this far, I would not have said so. And I can't even remember what he said. I can't remember what the issue was. I told you, I said, how can I even hold what I didn't remember? Even your face, it's not that you couldn't even remember your face. I said, I forgive you, I said, thank you for forgiving. I felt I hurt you and I owe you. Right? But why did that happen? Pure conscience. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. Whatever it is we might have done that made him to be that angry to say all those things, God would have seen that it was not intention. Right? That to our best of our ability, we have done everything by the books to make sure he got value. Am I making sense at all? Yeah. And that's what you want to understand. As long as you have pure conscience, nobody can bring you down. A lot of times people will tell me, I will do this, I will curse you, I'll be laughing. As long as there's pure conscience. You can't bring this business. And I want to encourage you, let's have pure conscience to your employers, to your colleagues, to your people around you. Pure conscience. Pure conscience does not mean the hard decisions shouldn't be taken. Pure conscience doesn't mean if you have to resign your job, you shouldn't resign. That's not what it means. Am I making sense at all? Yes. Pure conscience doesn't mean if you have to sack a staff, you shouldn't sack. Pure conscience doesn't mean you have a colleague stealing. You shouldn't. But pure conscience means that it was genuine. I knew you want to bring this company down. Genuinely, not because you didn't greet me. Pure conscience. Are we together now? Pure conscience is genuine interest of the other party or of the bigger party that I'm doing this. Pure conscience. I tell people, if you have pure conscience, nobody can bring you down. They will try. They will attack you. They will give you names, but they can't bring you down. Because your conscience is pure. It's clear. Your heart is clear. Am I trying to cheat my partners? Am I trying to cheat my employer? Am I trying to cheat my customers? As long as the conscience is what is clear, God is on your side. Does that make sense at all? Yes. If I told I couldn't send the mail, is it true that I indeed couldn't send the mail? Was in Nigeria no electricity, bad internet? It was genuine. Does that make sense? Not that because we're in Nigeria, I just say it's the network. Of course, they will say it's network. They will agree that it's network. Oh, it was traffic, pure conscience. When you do that, I don't think anything can bring it. In career, in business, in whatever you do, pure conscience, pure conscience, pure conscience, pure conscience. You see, even how one of our friends I known, we've been doing, when we started 6 years ago, a great conference, me and him, that I used to go, thinking that I go to, Abuja, all the trainings all over, and I think it was just 4 years that we had been apart. When he came here yesterday, he said, wow. So our growth has never been normal, but it has been because we are pure conscience. Have we had people who didn't like us? Of course. Do I have people who don't like me? Plenty. Do I care? No. Will I still give them what is due to them? Yes. Yes. That's pure conscience. Yes. I always tell people, I say, in this office, you greet me, you don't greet me, it's not my business. Do your job. You do it well. But you won't be sacked. You are still friends. Because I didn't employ you to greet me nicely. Right? Just do your job. Okay? And it's important that we get to that pure what? Conscience. People won't like you. Yes. But do you wish them well? Do you get what I'm saying? People will say bad things about you. Do you wish them well? If you do, they will come back and say, I'm sorry. God will always lift you up in a way that many of them will have the opportunity to say, I was one that was. I didn't see it in writing. Again, thank you all for joining us in this Thanksgiving and prayer. I have plenty of stories to share, but time will not permit us. But I want to thank everyone and those watching who are customers. Thank you. We won't be here without wonderful customers. I want to thank those who have worked in this company, even those who are not here. There's some good staff we've had, great staff, who had helped us. My wife, one of them, Richard. I'm sure it's Richard Ike was talking about this. Okay. We've had amazing guys, amazing guys. They came in, plugged into the spirit. As you can hear, that's the spirit here. Not this, we'll use 1 year to do a website. No, the speed. You do it fast, you do it quickly. And I want to thank you guys too for believing in this vision. Some of you are new, some of you are old. And thank you. I want to thank people like Ike who are old. Godwin, where's Godwin? So Godwin is amazing. Amazing. I don't know. That's a gift. Eric, it's a machines. And they're not even they're machines. You can call them Asia. Asia. There's no with them. I've never heard a no with Eric. Not once. There's no, there's no, yes, sir. Even when he doesn't know what to do. And it's me that will call you. Do you know what I'm about to do? Like, are you sure you know what? I'm figuring it out. You guys have all been amazing. We won't be here without amazing people who have been in this organization. We won't be here. Some of you have had to defend this institution. Thank you for doing that. Some of you are watching. We used to work here. Thank you for your. Even the bad staff. Thank you. Right? Because some customers didn't know we're good until, right? Like the story I gave you now, until I encounter such people who have told them, don't worry, my guy will charge you, I will charge you better. And then they try those people. And then after I had no, like you will say to me, but only a committee. So even the so-called backstabber actually helped too, right? And of course, people who just don't like us. I remember one day on Facebook, someone just said, "I've never met you like them. I just don't like you." I'm also thanking people like that. They have never met him. He doesn't even know himself. I just don't like him. I remember it was you were talking. And it was someone was, trying to one of their colleagues in their office. I was like, the person said, you go on social media, please let him go. You can do paid advert. So at this point, someone has to advertise the company now. Because a lot of people don't know that people he met in adversity. Look at Apostle Suleiman, for example. Do you know who he was? If not in crisis, right? Even Christopher Kiloma, we didn't know until that time when they said fake miracle, banning him on TV. So adversity has always brought out the best. I mean, there are companies you won't know until somebody decides to say it is his own life mission, to destroy them. At that point, people begin to, some people say, let's even try this out. In that process, the company grows big. So I think everybody ends up working together for your fans, your lovers, and including your enemies. They all work together for your good. Thank you and God bless you.
I'm sure by now our notes are already filled. It's a lot of things to learn. And now this takes us to the short exhortation taken by Pastor Lee. Let's give a round of applause.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Amen. I want to thank God for that which the Lord has done in this place. I have every confidence inside of me that God is here. Thank God for the life of my brother and friend with his wife. Congratulations to you. 12 years is very prophetic. When God had to walk in Joshua chapter 3, he commanded Joshua to appoint 12 elders. So 12 is very significant at this point in the life of this organization. I want to thank God. At least I can say me too. I was there at one point or the other. I remember the first update conference. Yeah. I remember I said, I don't want my name. And I was there at that event that day. Okay. Okay, are we good?
Yes,
Yes. So, okay, so I saw in them a couple that were not willing to let go, and they were willing to give it all it takes just to make sure that they succeed. I have a couple of friends in the business world, but I choose those I went to the same way. I've had a number of times that somebody will report into me and would say that I should be careful. That should be careful. Because okay, thank you. And the next picture they will see me there again. I mean, I remembered to the glory of God the number of times that we have to come for meetings, trainings for the staffs and all of that. Not because I was going to get anything, but because of the love. I remember a time that, there are some people that you don't choose them, but God chooses them for you, and there's nothing you can do about it. there was an upgrade conference that was holding in Abuja then, and he told me, he said, man of God, in fact, find your way. Find your way. I mean, it's going to be fantastic event and all of that. And truly, I had to find my way. I had to take flight to and from.
I think that was before you moved to Abuja.
Yes. Was it before? That was after. Yes. I met up. I was in Lagos then. So I had to take flight to and from, and I was not expecting a thank you. All I was just doing was to put it in my savings account. So savings account of investment, because I call it, there's an account where you save goodwill, and so as things were getting better, and somebody would come and tell me that avoid him more. All they see that show come. They see now you want about something. You are putting something, and things started getting better. Somebody will say avoid you. I find this. There's no time to. It's not the time to avoid anybody. When there was nothing, I mean, a couple of times, I have to. In fact, there are times that maybe I'm passing through a phase in my business also at a time that even to put a fuel in the car may be a challenge, but I have to wriggle it out. I can't tell you just to make sure I'm at that training. I remember a particular training that you were having in Ogba, and I just finished 7 days white fast, and I've not, no, 7 days, no, maybe like close to 192 days. So in the middle of it, I now capped it up with 7 days white fast, and so he said, man of God, you have to come for this training and train my people. I said, sir, I'm sorry I might not be able to come. That you don't want to see the way I look now, that I won't be able to come. So he said, you have to just come. Even if it is to sit down, your shadows will do miracle. So I had to find my way to the place that day. And the training turned to crusade at the end of the day. I think that was the day we met with Dr. Cornerstone.
Oh, yes,
Cornerstone. And that was the end of barrenness in his family. That was the end of barrenness in his family. We had this short time and we prayed together, and God liberated him. A heart that was shifted, God brought him back to normal, and God healed him and terminated barrenness. So this is not just business; it is a ministry. Praise God. So I mean, so what I would say is this: that the book of Ecclesiasticus, not Ecclesiastes, one of the hidden books that are not in the Bible, says a good friend is a treasure. So a good friend is hard to find, but he that has found one has found a good treasure. A good friend is hard to find, but he that has found one has found a good treasure. So what do you do with treasure? You keep it. You don't throw it anywhere or anyhow. So if I say I hear anything bad, that because of that I won't close. One of the bad things he has said about me, will you use that? How many of you will you tell me? So, but when God has, I mean, I've said it before a number of times on different platforms that I'm not used to all these camera. I can use all anyhow. We have big altar. Altar is big, so I can move anyhow. So, but to stay with this one, I'll try, sir. Amen. So there are some people that the moment you discover that there is a connect between you, what do? Just stay. Sincerely, by the grace of God, God has helped us in the real estate industry as a company. We have a number of estates. God is helping our business. We are doing well, But I mean, I always tell you, when it comes to talking to you about real estate, I won't hold any information from you because the sky is so wide, such that even no birds will have a reason to touch each other with their feathers. So you do real estate, I do real estate. If all of us seated here today is into real estate, I can tell you we can still meet the needs of the people in this Lagos alone. We can't meet the housing deficit. So we need more people to come with a genuine heart. As long as you do it the right way and God's own way, I can tell you, you still make your own money. Shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
I'll share two things and I'll round up. Number one thing is, if there's anything that has worked in this space, it's the fact that from what you heard from the MD and the wife, you would pick the fact that God is not taken away from the equation. That's the place of saying the word grace. Grace. When you remove G from grace, what you have left is grace. So that's such a man cannot be compared to someone who is standing on a treadmill, who is moving but without motion. So the capital G that starts the word grace has always been in the equation. And that's the reason why the business is growing from time to time. One thing you must be sure of is this. The person you shouldn't try to fight is the man that carries grace. I'll tell him something today. He's hearing it for the first time. The pastor that handed over to me in Kenaland as a youth pastor, very spiritual man, when he was handing over to me, he told me, among other things, he said, God told me there are two people in this youth ministry whose name will be heard globally. He said, do all you can to stay with those people. He said, sir, who are they? He said, your friend, Steve, and yourself. He said, God told me you guys will be great. He said, so stay with each other. He's hearing for the first time. Wow. So no matter what anybody says, it's not my motivation. If I come here 100 times in a week, at least I'm supposed to resume in my office this morning. I resume here again. I got home 8:01 yesterday, barely before. Between here and my house in Kudu Tabiola, I spent 10 minutes. The speed was fantastic. My wife said, you can take risk. I said, I have to do this. So it's something that when God has called you, that this is what I want you to do, there's nothing you can do. So there are many people who are still fighting with God simply because they have refused to obey instruction. God is saying, this is your husband. And you are saying that, oh Lord, no, it cannot be. It can't be this guy. Who do you want to be? Okay, well, now, amen. Or God is saying that this is your wife, and you keep saying that never, it cannot happen. Keep waiting. Or God is saying this is the business I've ordained for you to do, and you keep struggling. A woman that was in the ministry, a civil servant, a grade 15, 16 officer, who already had an official car, an official house, and God told her, "Omo konjogi, this is not what I've called you into." Even though she rose in the career, in that career, God said, "What I've called you into is to be frying akara." That is being cake with palm oil. She struggled for a number of times, a number of months, years, but eventually she obeyed. Because, you just see that all this that you have been doing, it has not amounted to anything. But the day she obeyed, a few months after, something happened. And that was the fact that a fraud was committed in the office. But she had left, obeying God. But you know something? These akarele food that she fried, I was there. I was taking them. One of my pastors, revered pastor, took me there. By 9 a.m. in the morning, she has fried close to 10 big bowls of akara. By 9 a.m., they've exhausted everything. By 9 a.m., she has provided employment opportunity to bread sellers, echo seller, pap seller, all manner, all around her. And she's the one doing their car. Big men with big cars park to come and buy the thing with their car. At the time my pastor took me there, I was told that she had built a house of 3-story building that she didn't build as the director of the civil service. Just walking in line with purpose. So when you see a man of grace or a woman of grace, embrace them, because your success will be attached to them. Second thing I saw that worked for them was the fact that they decided to put the shoulder, the heart of covenant, upon their shoulders. If you check the book of Joshua, Joshua chapter 3 and verse 13, Joshua chapter 3 and verse 13 says that, and the heart of the Lord must be on the shoulder. This is 12-year celebration. The Lord commanded Joshua, he said, appoint 12 elders, let them put the ark upon their shoulders. He said, when they put it on the shoulder, tell them to begin to walk towards River Jordan. By the time their feet touches the bank of the river will part ways. So as long as you continue to put the heart of God upon your shoulder, there is nothing that can stop you. They must give way. It may take time, but it only takes long. They were looking for what to do, and God told the leader, that's why everyone in business was spiritual, because business is spiritual. No matter what you do, it was spiritual. There are times God will say, invest in this business. There are times God will say, don't try this one. John D. Rockefeller, one of the greatest things that made him so great was the fact that, despite the fact that he was a businessman, he was a man that was always sensitive to the leading of God by time. Amen. The ark of the covenant has been upon their shoulder, and that's why every bank of the rivers they get to, it must open up. So, in all that you do, make sure that you are having God on your shoulder. Carry him everywhere you go. Don't change your surname when you get to a place where they don't know you. Don't change your name. That's some people they wear Grebe, the brother Grebe or sister Rebecca. When they get to a place where they don't know them, how about change your look? Begin to hear what's up names and Jasper, and Mookie. Like what's that man that always say you are doing well. There's one particular name which he gave to ladies. You will be them like freaking when you get a foreigner. Please don't change your identity when you get to a certain level. Let me tell you, this is a gospel of truth, and I'll preach it again. That there are many people that God will always leave them at the level of 100,000 naira. Because the day he crosses the line of 100,000 naira, he will so safari, he show that part. If I ask your guy, no call. One mistake, no share. I think in the I don't know expected because of 100,000. So because God was not want you to, he rather keep you at the level of 100,000. In the given, Emma do 100,000. Emma talk well, just so that we can be seeing him in church consistently, so that we can see him in fellowship, so that we can see his head will still be correct. The day the money crosses 110, alarm blow. It means that God does not have a problem in blessing you, but before the blessing comes, your motive must be set right. God told me a number of times there are many people I don't. Okay, what are they doing with the blessing in heaven? There was a day he showed me in the revelation. I got to a place and I saw planks. That is like the bark of trees on the floor. Like when you go to the US, you see some brown, wooden stuff on the floor, like sawdust. So as I got there, we're looking for money, and we entered that place like a forest. And when I saw these things on the floor, I picked up some, and I saw someone elderly man who asked us. He said, "What are you guys looking for?" It was myself and my lawyer. "What are you guys looking for?" He said, "We're looking for money." And he said, "Okay, just took some of this back of the tree." And the next thing I saw in that revelation was the old man entered the bank and he came out with Ghana must go, 2 Ghana must go filled with mint. And I said, you took Iggy into the bank and you are coming out with mint, 2 Ghana must go. Where did you get this thing from? He said, all these things people are matching is treasures. We have it in heaven. We are not doing anything with it. That was sometimes last year, early last year, that God showed me. We have it. He said, just try to align with him, with us here. We were looking for who to push it to. So heaven is full of treasure. And it was that last year that we made the most remarkable say we've never made a business, ever since I started business. Last year, that a lot of people are complaining recession is that, just align with him. He does not have a problem in blessing. Let your motive be right. If God will bless you today, what do you want to do with the blessing? Put the heart on your shoulder, and I can tell you, go far. Nothing will be able to stand before you. They will part ways. Why? Because the heart is on your shoulder. Shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
And on the final notes, I will say this. Now, never steal what God is interested in. Never steal what God is interested in. When God told us to be paying tithes, He's interested in 10% of what you earn. Don't steal it, because He's the one who will do. Whatever 9-10 cannot do, 10-10 will never do it. Whatever 9/10, you are earning money. You did business, I brought business for you. And we made profit of 100,000 naira. And I just said, you know what? I don't want to stress you. Just give me 10,000. You take 90,000. He now said, Omo, my big J, post me there, allow. I'm sorry, I won't be able to give you 10K. You now run away with the money. So when you finish spending the 100,000, you came back again to meet me that, Baba, contact him, I'll need that your contact. Will I give you? So that means it is the only one you have taken that you have taken. That's your inheritance. That's the way many of us are treating God. We go to him when we have a need for breakthrough. He blesses us. At the end of the day, we don't give him what belongs to him. I've only asked you for 10%. Don't steal from God what he's interested in. If you check the book of Joshua chapter 8 and verse 2, Joshua 8 and verse 2, you will see where God was asking that, Joshua 8:2 and Joshua 6:19. Joshua 8:2 and Joshua 6:19, because of my time, I won't be able to read it. But in one of those scriptures, God was telling Joshua, he said, as you are going for this war, into this war, all of the treasures of gold and of silver and of bronze, I am interested in it. Nobody should take it. That was when Achan stole, and God said he should be destroyed, himself and the entire family, including the pain he got. God was interested in that treasure. Now, if you check another place, that is the second scripture. Now, you will see that God said, when you have plundered the entire city, every treasure you see there, carry it is your own. So there are things that God is interested in. There are others that He will let go for us. Be sensitive and do not take whatever God is interested in. To survive in business, there are a lot of things. I told you yesterday in the training, I said, see, everybody is using something. If you don't use something, somebody will use you for something. So you must ensure that if you have decided you use God, you use it in full. You use it in full. Look at all the things He commands. Once you can follow by grace, He will help you. So as you are growing bit by bit, please lay to heart to give to God what belongs to Him. God told Adam, He said, of all the trees in this garden, you may freely eat, but of that which of the good and of evil, don't go there. The day you eat it, that's the day you die. That was what happened. So for you to grow in business, as an employer, or as an employee, you must give God his place. I mean, even people who are of the other faith, there's something they call saka. That means they give at some point. Give to get. They give. Even if they can't call it fight, there's a time. And I can tell you, that is one of the things that has worked in this organization. Ability to be able to figure out those who are in need and meeting those needs. By the grace of God, we also embrace the same. In our devotions in the office, we started since, because the organization started. In the morning, we contribute offering every day in our devotion. And every 3 months, we carry the offering, take it to motherless babies' homes. And we buy stuff, go and give it to them every quarter, at least once every quarter. It's a secret that most business people always embrace. The man I learned the lesson from also, same thing. You will just go to a church, not known, you just want to embark upon a project and do it and move on. Amen? Mm-hmm. So at our own level, let us do that which will make God to bring us closer to himself. I can tell you, it is not hard work that takes us to where we are going, It's a key ingredient for the blessings of the Lord maketh rich, and that has no sorrow. You can hear from the MD a number of times, look as if the business is coming to an end or to an end. But all from the blues, something must happen. That is the blessing of the Lord. And I'll quote my father in the faith, Bishop David Aburi. He said, if everything you've gotten in life is a function of your hard work, then you are not blessed. Mm-hmm. If all you have in life is a function of hard work, you are not a blessed person. So sit down and evaluate yourself. Look at all that God has blessed you with and say, how did I get this thing? If everything you bought with your money, you are not blessed. But if you can say, no, this one. When, by the grace of God, at my own little level, this guy came with, when I went to US on a particular journey and I was coming back home, they used this car to beg me. I came home with it. They used it to beg me. Somebody said, I want to do this business with you, but I don't have money. Yeah, you'll be taking this car. I will then let it be my contribution. I went to another person. They were organizing different programs and all that. They wanted me to come and speak there. I got to another person. That one too said, hey, I'm just thinking of something of passing. Maybe you should go in with this car. I came with 2 cars on that trip. It was not a prayer point. Just keep praising God. And every other thing in our life. Shout hallelujah. Hallelujah. These people that God has blessed you with as your employer, I can tell you, it may be slow, but it is consistent and it is steady. Unlike many places, you get there, the way it will go is the way to go down. Please wait. Don't be an Indomie generation. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. And that's why some men don't last in bed. 2 minutes. Because their life is tied around 2 minutes. Everything 2 minutes. Fast food. Fast everything. Yes, sir. I mean, fast man. If I don't say it, who will say it? I have to say so 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes. Everything. Yeah, that's 2 minutes. So that's why they want quick success. They want shortcuts. Everything 2 minutes. It affects them to everywhere. Everything they do. Please don't join that generation. Don't join that generation. The blessing that God gives, it has a condition. There is something to do to earn it. Until you have found those things, the struggle continues. My father in the faith, Bishop will say that if any preacher will preach to you that this is a verse of the scripture that talks of the blessing of the Lord, and he does not tell you what to do to earn the blessing, he said he's a fake man. There is always something that precedes the place of the blessing. You must go back up and read it. You want to enjoy financial blessing? He says, okay, bring your tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. And prove me here with, see the Lord of hosts, if I will not open unto you the window of heaven. But before that starts, he has said, bring me up. So if you don't bring home, that means you don't qualify for the blessing. You want to prosper in business. If there's anything that works for me, one wants my boss to strive among others. Psalm 1, verse 1 to 3 was a key thing for me. He said, blessed is the man who sits not in the council of the ungodly, nor make his way with sinners, nor sit with people of God. I want to sorrow in your name. They gather, when people are talking ill of my employer, you will see me straight away. I will tell you I'm going, but I will just fade out, like here. Because I know that if I don't stop it, they'll do the same for me also. So he said, when you have done this, verse 1 and verse 2, verse 3 says, he said, for there thou shalt be as a tree planted by the rivers of water, that sheweth forth his fruits in season, whose leaves also will not wither, and whatsoever you do, you prosper. So that is the condition for prosperity in business is 1 and 2. Don't sit with sinners. Don't be meddling on other people's affairs. 2, 3, jango. Wait, Lenny, I'm a unionism. Obviously, salary or anger. But you know that, no problem. Go start your business now. You know, what's your stay? So when I see people who do that, okay, what do you want? You want money, the full money. Yeah, take and go. Let's see how far you can go. So if there's anything around up with, please ensure you receive the blessings of your employer, even if God asks you to. Ensure you receive the blessings of your employer, if God would ask you to. Shout hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
With this short exhortation of mine, I hope I've not been able to confuse you, but to convince you that Jesus Christ is in this place.
Everything we do, learn to always cut across all aspects of our lives, even at the work we're doing now. Because one day will come when we have it. So ensure you sow the right thing at all time. Praise the Lord. This takes us to Thanksgiving prayer, which will be taken by. Let's welcome our Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Let's welcome you.
All right, so my name is Gordon Jern, and working with Gtext Homes and Global has been a life transforming phase. How do I live? It's been 2 months, and the ability to travel from one country, the ability to travel from one country to the other is actually not there because of the crisis. And people ask me, what are you doing? You aren't traveling to no Kenya, no Rwanda, no Israel, no Egypt. So how do you survive? And then I read a book by this boss, yes, Mr. Akintayo, titled Switch. You can clap if you want to clap. And I began to change my traveling structure to what is now working in the new world. I hope everybody can see my face. Damn, I need attention. However, okay, I used to be a person that used to just do my documentaries. Never had interest in selling them. I just always loved brand, but would not sell. And that was an issue for me because you just end up wasting content and people want to know you, but they can't contact you. For me, I just felt that was my content. But down the line, with the help of Mr. Steve, Pastor Edineyi, with all the Zoom meetings, and I must add a phone number and to sell. Trust me, for the first time, I was able to close a deal or recharge a bill. And I know the man called me. I was like, yes, sir, I'm here. I can help you out. But if it was there, trust me, I wouldn't have just had, you understand? I noticed that this is a structure that people need to come in to know how to make wealth. Okay, whatever you're doing right now, okay, the way forward is the digital marketing, is the artists and speakers, it's the new way of life. And there is a structure for you to now, come in so that you can have more impact. I was part of that structure, but I never see it as something I needed to share. I just felt it was okay. So I spoke with the man, told him there was value, and he also said you've seen all the value. He knows that Pastor Yode, sorry, I hope I'm making his name well. He's the godfather of Mr. Steven, and he donated food to IDP camp and
So the
and
guy is
people-
mine for me because I donated.
yeah, so it was like, this is beyond business. You understand? So he gets all the money he gets. At the same time, sorry, he gives it out to those who need it. Before I even had a job with Mr. Steven, I like to also say secretly where Mr. Steven is. So I was just the normal guy following the African sort of just like a comment. Well, and then there was a lady who had some issues. I think she was kidnapped for a few months and she was kept by the roadside. Yes, yes. And I started seeing some blog that this man here, while everybody was saying she was a wrong girl, that she deserved, to be misused for such number of the guy was saying that it wasn't her fault, and all that. This God sent handsome man actually helped the lady just sent. I was like, wow. And I knew this was the person that I saw on the internet. It's just really, really wonderful adventure. I can go on and on and on and on to say that stories that are important and the stories that are need to be heard. However, I'm his media assistant, so I know all the media stories. So if you go to do a documentary like, Emma Ushilada, God bless you, God bless you. I say, it's not me, I'm not Stephen. That's the man up there, I'm just like, so they're like, tell him I said thank you. And trust me, he's a man that has God bless you a million times every day, all over the world. You may not see it. Some of our volunteers who came here didn't just volunteer because they wanted to. Their parents, age parents, are like fancying him. And they told their kids, this man needs help. Oh, yeah, Ejalo, go and volunteer. And all of that. Some shared their story and I was, overwhelmed. So trust me, you're in the right place, you're in the right track, in the right seat. Where you're sitting right now, like, okay, it's the right place for you. And you. Thank you so much. It's a 12th anniversary, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let us put our hands to the maker, our God who has made us sing this far. Please clap, clap. Thank you very much.
It's blocking. Just hold on.
Where would Gtext be
Let's give him all the glory for his works on his year. How many countries have been able to survive God's transformation? Three, 4, 5, 6. God has been faithful. Let's begin to appreciate him all the praise. Glory, because it's not for him, where would we be today? Celebrate Jesus. We appreciate him. We say thank you, we give you thank you, we all glory. Lily of the valley, Father, we worship you. God, we say thank you. Father, we bless you. We give you thanks, we give you glory. We restore all the glory. Thank you, Jesus. Oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. Oh Lord, we worship you. Thank you, Jesus. We bless your holy name. Ancient of days, we worship you. We magnify you. Thank you, God. We celebrate you, awesome God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Father, we worship over this organization. We give you the praise. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. We are grateful to you, Lord, which you have done in this place. Yes, we are praying. Amen. Lastly, the mood of prayer right now, we're praying and we're thanking God for that. We're thanking God because for the past 12 years, since this company started, we have never till date lost any of our staff. It has not been man. It has not been because the CEO of the company is very close to God or he has the best relationship with God. It has not been because of his grace. It has not been because of his mercy. So let's begin to appreciate him. Let's begin to worship him over the faithful act of him. Let's give him all the glory because if not for him, where would the company have been? What would we have said? Let's appreciate him. Let's worship him for not making us lose any of the staff that has come to work in this company. Oh Lord, we magnify you, Father, we worship you. There is no like creation of this. I don't want to, there is no like you. I return all the glory back to you. For not allowing us to have any one of them. Staff of this company. Lord, we say thank you. Father, we worship you. Father, we give you thanks. We give you glory. Oh Lord, we magnify you. Father, we worship you. Lord, we bless your holy name. For your faithfulness, for your loving kindness. Oh Lord, we say thank you. Oh Lord, we magnify you. We worship you, bless your holy name. For every one of the staff that has come to work in this company, we never had any evil report concerning them. There was never a time we heard that one of them slept and never woke up. One of them was victim of one appropriate attack and was caught by another incident. None of them was victim of any form of evil. Lord, you are faithful. Lord, you are awesome. Lord, we give you all the glory. We give you all the praise. We magnify you because no one could have done this except for you. And we are not taking this for granted today. Father, for 12 years, no death. Lord, we say thank you. No one could have done this. For your grace, for your mercy, which has been much for us. For your favor that you have conversed us like a sheep round about. Oh Lord, we say thank you. Father, we worship you, we magnify you. We bless your holy name. Bless you to never cut it. Oh Lord, we magnify you, we worship you. Oh Father, we give you thanks. There is no like you, ancient of days. There is no like you, lily of the valley. Father, we worship you. Father, we bless your holy name. We give you thanks, we give you glory. For in Jesus' powerful name we are praying. Lastly, we'll be praying and we'll be saying thank you to the name of the Lord. We appreciate him because so many issues arise, so many issues came up. For the MD, so many attacks towards the MD, towards the company, towards the couple of staff. And the Bible has made us to understand that each time the enemy tries to come and get flood in the night, he's going to raise the standard against them. So for his protection and preservation, for his loving kindness over the MD, his family, for not allowing the enemy, the plans to come to pass over his life, let's begin to appreciate it, let's begin to glorify it. Because once the shepherd is affected, the sheep scatter. But God is not allowed the shepherd to be struck with different kind of evil that the enemy was bringing across his way. God protected him, preserved him. He travels several times. Even in a year, traveled more than 5 to 6 times. In the air, on the road, God kept protecting him. When he goes to meet with your money, God protected him. God preserved him.
preservation, for divine provision. Oh Lord, we say thank you. Baba, oh Lord, we say thank you. Father, we worship you, we bless your holy name. We give you thanks because you have been faithful. Over the thing of this country, Lord, you have been faithful. Over his family, you have been faithful. For divine protection, for divine preservation, for divine provision. Oh Lord, I say thank you. I magnify you. I worship you this morning. I bless your holy name because no man can come us except for you. Oh Lord, we give you all the glory. Oh Lord, we give you all the praise. Oh Lord, we worship you. We bless you. We say thank you, Jesus. Oh Lord, we say thank you. Oh Lord, we say thank you, Jesus. We say thank you, Jesus. Lord, you have been faithful. Lord, you have been faithful. You did not allow him to be consumed by the fearfulness of the enemy. You did not allow the heavens and the earth that was sent to nothing to actually come close to his dwelling place. Oh Lord, we say thank you. Oh Lord, we appreciate you. We say thank you. Because now, oh, God, you also anointed and through my prophet Noah, you are always like, oh Lord, we give you all the glory. We give you all the praise. We worship you. We give you thanks, Lord. We magnify you. We give you thanks. We give you all the glory. We bless your holy name. We worship you. We magnify you, Lord. We say thank you, Jesus. We say thank you, Jesus. We say thank you, Jesus. There is none like you, Jesus. We say thank you, Jesus. For in Jesus' mighty name. As we are praying this morning, as we are praying, I decree that our prayers of thanksgiving will go to him as a sweet smelling savour. And in the next year that we're going to be coming together again to glorify him, to appreciate him for another year, will be 10 times greater than where we have already been. I decree in the years to come, eyes has not seen, ears has not heard. Neither has it come to the heart of men what God has said to do for this company. And it will definitely bring it to pass in the name of Jesus. Because we have glorified him and given honor to whoever is to the Lord. I decree that in the next 10, 12 years, 15 years to come, here we are today will be the least of them who ever be. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Just as our pastor has come to bless us with the word this morning, just as he has always been there for us, even when there was nothing, I decree that his one company, what eyes have not seen, what ears have not heard, what has not come to the heart of men that God is going to do for his company. They are going to be 20 times greater than when they currently are in the name. Amen. I decree the same energy, the same strength, the same skill that is putting into this company to make sure that we are also seeing results as a company. I decree when it comes one, millions shall answer. Amen. Whatsoever it lays his hands upon shall prosper. Amen. I decree the men that shall move this company to the glorious height and destiny it needs to get to. God shall bring those men in his place in the name of Jesus. I pray for men like Joseph, men like Joshua, who shall be the kind of men that shall walk with him in the name of Jesus. I decree in the name of Jesus. Anyone that shall come and destroy his company, they will not even fear the gate of his company. God shall automatically uproot them like a weed in the name of Jesus. And I pray for his family. His family will be blessed in the morning. His family will be blessed in the evening. His family will be blessed in the afternoon. And I decree the head, the sea, the land, everything shall work together for his good in the name of Jesus. And for our CEO, I decree everywhere he step into, I decree favor shall speak for him. I decree the favor of the Lord shall continue to encompass him like a shield. I decree all the days of his life, surely goodness and mercy shall follow him. I decree every weapon of the enemy upon his life, upon his business, is automatically destroyed. The devil that could not bring him down 10 years ago, 12 years ago, even at this moment, he has spilled over his life. He has spilled over his business. And for every one of the staff here who have seen the vision and are working with the vision, I decree your life will not suffer for you. I decree your family will not suffer. I decree as you are walking towards the progress of this country, your life will progress. I decree your one hand, whatever you plan to do, wherever you plan to be the next 10 years, the next 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, I decree you will be there. I decree you will get there. The still an energy that you use for this to work for this country. When it's time for you to start your work, I decree you will call men and they will answer. I decree the work of the hands will be destroyed. In the name of Jesus. Lord, Lord, we give you all the praise. We magnify you, Lord Jesus. For your prayer has been God. We say thank you. We worship you. For in Jesus' mightiest name we are praying. Amen.
We give you all the glory. We give you honor. We give you all the glory. We give you honor. We give you all the glory. We give you honor. We give you all the glory. We give you honor. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. Alpha and Omega. You are Yahweh. Alpha and Omega. Hallelujah. You are Yahweh. 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 Alpha and Omega. You are Yahweh. Alpha and Omega. Give you all the glory and praise. Celebrate him and glorify him. He is Yahweh and he's not all by himself. He does not need a deputy. He's not all by himself. The God yesterday, the one today, and the one who will be forever. You are Yahweh. There is no one like unto me. There is no one that can be placed side by side with you. You are worthy. Thank you for being there, for this great organization in the last 12 years. It has been you and I. We return all the glory to you. We return all the praise to you. We return all the honor to you. Thank you, Lord God. Leave us with a blessing. Thank the glory of God. Leave us with a blessing. We celebrate you. Oh, Lord, we have returned that we will be restored. We have returned to say thank you. Thank you for Gtext. Thank you for all the subsidiaries. Thank you for the founder. Thank you for the vision. Thank you for everyone you brought their way. Thank you, glorious God. We say thank you, mighty God. Blessed be to you, awesome Father. We say thank you. In Jesus' glorious name, we have given thanks. Thank you, Jesus. There is no good leader anywhere. It's only a man that carries God that leads well. We have never suffered a setback in this place, not because of the situation of the economy, but because God has been the one leading. God told Joshua in Joshua 3 and 7, Joshua 3 and verse 7, he said, the Lord told Joshua, he said, today I will begin to make you a great leader in the eyes of all these people. They will know that I am with you.
just as I was with Moses. So even if you see anyone as a great leader, it is because it is God that has told them to be so. So there are people who work so hard, but yet they are never seen as great leaders. You will say, Father, we thank you for leading this organization yourself. Thank you for everyone you brought across the way of this organization, just to see to it that things work well. Lift up your voice and give God thanks for leading us alive in this place. Give him the glory. Give him the glory. We have our testimonies, but I can tell you, he said, except the Lord build a house, the labor in vain that builds it. Except the Lord watches over the city, the laborers labor but in vain. Father, we say thank you for leading this organization well. We are grateful to you. 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 We say thank you for leading this organization well through your son and the wife. We celebrate you. Thank you for using it. Thank you for the birth of other subsidiaries. We celebrate you. Thank you for your grace that has kept them. We say thank you. We say thank you. We say thank you. Blessed be to you, Lord. Lord, we say thank you. Glory and honor to you, Daddy. In Jesus' glorious name, we have given thanks. Amen. You will pray prayer if you are interested. It was God that told Joshua to choose the 12 elders that would bear the ark on their shoulders with him. God saw many, but he told Joshua, choose 12 among them. It is only God that chooses those that last with an organization. Say, Father, choose me to be among those that will bear the ark in this organization. I can tell you there are many people who resign abruptly in some organizations that are great today, and they are regretting for eternity because they can't take them again. There are places that God has ordained for you. When you consider the present sufferings, you may live ahead of your breakthrough. You say, Father, choose me to be among those that you will use to bear that ark in this place. In the name of Jesus Christ. Lift up your voice and begin to declare, Father, in the name of Jesus, just as you chose 12 elders, and this is back in the 12th year of this organization, we ask, oh God, that you will choose these ones to bear the ark. Oh Lord, moving forward, choose these ones to be among those that will bear the ark, that will move this organization to the next phase in the name of Jesus. Father, choose these ones to be among those that will bear the ark that you will use to move this organization to the next phase in the name of Jesus. Father, choose these ones, Lord, as many as desire to be chosen. Ancient of days, choose them, oh Lord, choose them, anoint them, and when the good has come, let none of these ones be a castaway in the name of Jesus. La rota, la rosulia rota, Jerusalem, Father, choose as many as desire to bear their heart upon their shoulders, even to move this country to the next phase in the name of Jesus. Father, we say thank you. Blessed be to you, O God. In Jesus' glorious name, we have prayed. Amen. We will pray a prayer, and that God should baptize this organization with a spirit of favor. If there's anything you need in business, it is favor. It is favor that terminates labor. It is not only a work that takes you to where you are going. It's the force of favor. We will pray that Lord baptize this organization with the force of favor. In Esther chapter 5, Esther chapter 5 verse 2, and Esther chapter 4 verse 11, we saw what happened there. How everybody who saw Esther will not pass by her except the people one. The only one who was not permitted to favor Esther was a blind man who could not see her. But as long as say no to her. Everywhere she went to, favor. Now, the Bible says she got to the place where they kept the virgins that were to see the king. The Bible says that she found favor with the keeper of the virgins, such that only her was given 7 days to get her one. The force of favor. The force of favor is what can make people to bring out money for when they are saying there is no money. People to patronize you and do something. You know something? Once you offer yourself as one of those that wants to bear the heart, you see that you really want that will excel the most. Because God is the rewarder of them that diligently seek Him. And there is no way you will do another man's own well, and God will make your own well. Father, baptize this organization with the force of favor in this new year, in the name of Jesus Christ. Lift up your voice and begin to declare. This organization of God, baptize it with the force of favor, with the force of favor, just as you did unto Esther, in the name of Jesus. Father, baptize this organization with the force of favor, with the spirit of favor, just as you did with Esther, just before they appear, in the name of Jesus. Everywhere, everyone in this organization will go from today, bearing the heart of the Lord, bearing the gospel of this organization, wherever they go, let favor open the door for each one in the name of Jesus. Let favor open the door for each one in the name of Jesus. Let favor open the door for each one in the name of Jesus. Father, we say thank you. Blessed be to you, awesome God. In Jesus' name we are praying. 2 more prayer points and we're done. You pray that, Lord, by the virtue of the act of kindness that you have used this organization to show many, Lord, remember this organization for good today. Yes. The Bible speaks concerning that prostitute that was living in Jericho. You remember her? The prostitute that kept the spice. What happened to her? By the virtue of that act of kindness, when it was time to destroy Jericho, she was spared. And the entire family was spared because of that one woman. Prayer. And who became, that was the line that Jesus Christ came from, by the virtue of the act of kindness. Lord, it may not be much, but by the reason of the act of kindness that you have enabled us to show to the people in this organization, Father, remember us for good. In this new year of ours, Father, remember us for good. Rahab was remembered for good when it was time for destruction. Lord, remember us for good. She was spared. God said, nothing must happen to that woman. Nothing. She may be a prostitute by the standard of men. But God is the one who determines who goes and who stays. He is the owner of the final say. He said, bring her out. She must not be destroyed because she's a kind woman. By the acts of your generosity that you have used the organization to extend to others, Father, spare this company from downfall. Spare this company from going down. Spare this company even from going out. Lord, let this organization be remembered for good in this new year in the name of Jesus. COVID or no COVID, you said the power shall fall at our side and 10,000 on the right hand. You said we only see with our eyes, we only hear with our ear. None of it will come near us. Father, as you have spoken, so let it be. As you have said, so perform. In the name of Jesus. Father, COVID or no COVID, Father, we declare, let this year be a most outstanding year for this organization in the name of Jesus. Oh God, let this year be a most outstanding year even for this organization in the name of Jesus. Father, we say thank you. Give you all the glory and praise. For in Jesus' precious name we have prayed. Amen. Finally, we'll pray this prayer. And that's the prayer of divine presence. Joseph was a man that had nothing but the presence of the Lord. The Bible speaks concerning Joseph, Genesis chapter 39. It says, and this man Joseph, a man that feared God, and God was with him. Yeah, the man was passing through so many things, but he didn't lose God's presence. No matter what you pass through in life, if you don't lack God's presence, your God will make you to pass through it all. You will see light at the end of your tunnel. If there is anything I don't want to lose as a young man, it is the presence of God. You can take every other thing away from me, but not God's presence. Because everywhere I appear, they see that in me. They must see it in this company for today.
Amen.
In the name of this company.
Amen.
And there's no way God will give you in this year, and you will lack God's presence. It's not possible. Because the eye flows from the head all through to the shoulders and all through to the skirts of Aaron. So you say, Father, follow this organization. It adds, Lord, with your mighty presence, from the company to the founder to his family, all through to everyone working here. Divine presence, divine presence, divine presence, divine presence, and God was with Joseph. Everywhere went to, and God was with Joseph. When he threw him in the pit, and God was with Joseph. When he got to the palace, and they lied against him, and God was with Joseph. He went to the prison, and God was with Joseph. He came out of prison, and God was with Joseph. Till he got to the final destination, and God was with Joseph. Father, please be with your servants, be with your son and your daughter, and everyone living in this organization, and everyone working in this organization. In this new year, let your mighty presence, let it be seen in the name of Jesus Christ. Lord, God, be with this company in this new year. Be with your son, be with your daughter in their respective organizations. In the name of Jesus, be with everyone working here. Lord, let them not lose your presence. 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 Father, we say thank you. Lift your hands. Give him all the glory. Give him all the honor. Give him all the grace. Father, we say thank you. Blessed be to you, awesome God. In Jesus' precious name, we have prayed. And because you have prayed for the organization, you have prayed for its founders, you have prayed for every man. The Bible says in Job 42:10, and the Bible says, and God turned the captivity of Job around when they prayed for his friends. And God gave Job twice as much as he had, not because he fasted for others. Because you have been considered this day, I declare, whatever may be a desire in your heart, receive it in the name of Jesus. Amen. This organization shall never lack God's presence in this new year in the name of Jesus. Amen. Just as we have heard the testimonies of many great organizations who have transited one generation, they have moved to other generations. In the same way, Gtext Global, you will go beyond this generation in the name of Jesus. Amen. All of your subsidiaries, they shall stand the test of time in the name of Jesus. Amen. I declare and decree that from this day forward, anyone who enters here shall be blessed in the name of Jesus. The Bible says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous will run into it and be saved. Now, there is something about God's presence. Anywhere the presence of God stays, anyone that carries God's presence, whoever comes to them, connects with whatever they carry. Because this location has been marked for God's presence, every allocation you desire in life shall be supernaturally given you. In this new year of this celebration, we declare there shall be the consummation and the perfection and the establishment of new estates in the name of Jesus. I declare and I decree that God will turn the life of that man called Jabez around. And when he turned his life around, the Bible says, after God turned his life around, we have a city called the city of Jabez. A man who was a non-entity. God blessed him so much to the point that he had an estate after God turned his life around. Now, from this day, I speak by the Spirit of the Lord, I declare new estates shall be born this year in the name of Jesus. Amen. In this organization, new estates shall be born But we know that we serve a God of times and seasons. The God that can speak even to Elijah, who outran horses and chariots. You have the power to give speed. This year, I declare that you will give speed to this organization in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Every customer that associates with this company, this year, God will reward them in Jesus.
Amen.
Every staff that remains faithful and loyal to this cause of this organization, God will reward you this year in Jesus.
Amen.
There shall be no death of infants in our midst in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Those who are married, God will make you pregnant.
Amen.
Those who are looking up to God for the fruit of the womb, God will visit you this year.
Amen.
Those trusting God for their married partners, this year, God will visit you.
Amen.
Those who are trusting God for miracle visas, this year, God will visit you.
Amen.
Those trusting God to return back to school for miracle admissions, God will give you this year.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Right now for the shepherd. I would say, strike the shepherd and the prophet scatter. God, we pray that as for you, Mr. Stephen Akintayo, as for you, Mr. Stephen Akintayo, I declare by the Spirit of God, because God has laid his hands on me, that whatsoever I declare shall be established. I declare upon your life that you will not mislead these ones in the name of Jesus. That wisdom from Jehovah to manage every situation as it arises, God will give you in Jesus' name. The grace that you need to take right and quality decisions for time, God will release it to you in the name of Jesus. From today, I declare that your spiritual antenna shall be sharpened up, such that you will know when God is speaking in the name of Jesus. What men do that makes God turn his back against them, you will not lay your hands upon to do it in the name of Jesus. I declare, as for you and your wife and the children that the Lord has blessed you with, no evil shall be heard concerning you. In the name of Jesus Christ. Go and enter the next phase of your life and begin to swim in the flow of God's Spirit. In the name of Jesus. Mr. Akintayo, I declare as God's own vessel into your life from today, that just as you have stood with this man, truth and faith, I declare that the help never qualified for, God will give you in. The lives of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that gave credence to the name of Daniel till today, God will connect them to you in the name of Jesus. All the days of your life, you don't have support. You will not have help. I stand this day, pray in the name of the Lord of my heart, pray. No matter how many you two become, your children shall be greater than you. In the name of Jesus. So shall it be. Father, we celebrate you. Blessed be to you all. Everyone of Abraham, the Bible called them blessed. Everyone, we call them blessed. Because you are here, working with Mr. and Mrs. Akintayo, pouring your heart out. Many I know sleep here in this office. I know some of them. I decree and declare that God will settle you to in Jesus' name. God will settle you also in the name of Jesus. You will not understand what I'm saying, but I paid millions of naira, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even while I was with my boss. I built, by the grace of God, my first house when I was with my boss. I declare, while you are sounding faithfully here, God will set you here. God will set you here. The Lord will set you here. The Lord will set you here. In the name of Jesus Christ, be blessed. Jesus precious.
Amen. Celebrate Jesus.
Father, we thank you.
Thank you.
Give you all the praise, all the glory, all the thanksgiving. We give you all the trust. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for what you have done.
mighty name we have.
Amen.
Please have your seat. We're going to be cutting the cake. I'm told the cake is not ready, so we have an evening seminar that I'm doing. So we probably start the seminar by just putting the cake. Also, tomorrow we're inviting ourselves to some of you who have not been to some of our Akintayo that we're promoting tomorrow, while some other branch will go on Saturday. So I think you want to coordinate that. I don't think you should go for sure coordinate those who should go tomorrow and then let anyone coordinate keeping them from those who are not in there. So the first we are waiting for the patients for tomorrow. Also between now and next week. I think those of you watching us online, we appreciate you for celebrating us. God bless you. And bye-bye. So, in my heart that we should have what I